best entertainment on the earth. Tune in for Comics with Perch.
Hey everybody, this is Perch, and I got a couple people who pinged me about this and sent me links to it around the announcement from DC about the celebrating Black History Month in the month of February, and the way that they're celebrating it appears to be some variant covers, and there's some nice variant covers. Some of them are using that kind of photorealistic approach of the characters and costumes, and I look at it and it's weird because I recognize the talent involved in what's been done, and there's no doubt about it. There's definitely some talented individuals that did this, but it doesn't look right either. It looks like it looks like somebody photoshopped a superhero costume on top of a real person. Is what it on top of a photo. That's what it looks like. It's not quite. It's that uncanny valley effect where it just doesn't look right. I guess the best way to put it. But this isn't a video about that cover. It's about a video about actually Black History Month. And here's where, this is just me. And maybe this is not how the rest of the world thinks. Maybe this is, just the wrong way of thinking about it. But to me, a great way to celebrate Black History Month would be to announce and launch some ongoing titles featuring some Black characters. I think that would be a fine thing to do. What I think is less appealing to me, or at least less impactful, is that you have variant covers celebrating Black History Month. I don't know who's that for. I granted, you pick up the Flash and it's like, oh look, here's the New 52 version of Wally, and it looks like a photoshopped costume onto a real person. That's great. Was the cover artist Black? Did we give somebody some money to do this like that? I hope. If we're gonna rest Black History Month, our celebration of that on variant covers, and I hope, I guess you hired a Black artist to do that cover. That would be nice, I suppose, but wouldn't it be a good time to announce an ongoing Vixen comic? I know John Stewart's over there in Green Lantern in the Jeff Thorne version, which I believe is I haven't heard from Jeff, so I don't know. I'm speculating here, but I think it's wrapping up. I say that mainly from the fact that it feels like everything wraps up at DC after like 12 issues. So, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. I'm not starting any rumors here. I haven't heard. But I think it would be a pretty, cool celebration for Black History Month if you said, hey, we've decided to announce, an ongoing Vixen book by a top level creative team. That's how we're going to do it. So you don't have to just celebrate it in February by buying, cover B of the Flash, but you get to celebrate it every month by a, top storyteller telling a cool story like that. That seems cool. You could still be enjoying this celebration of Black History Month in August or September. That sounds like a cool way to do it. Or hell, you just you launch these books whenever you can, any month, and then in February you get to brag about it, saying, "Hey, we don't cancel our books early. We're on issue 78 of the John Stewart book. That's cool. Hey, we're on issue 241 of Cyborg, and still going strong with strong sales. And you know why? Because we prioritize characters, and that's how we're celebrating Black History Month. We prioritize characters with top creative teams. We stick by them, and we that's what we do. I don't know. That seems like a good way to do it. In the poster, they're announcing the Milestone Initiative material, which it reminds me the selection process seems goofy there, but that's also a conversation for another time. But here's another part that kind of irks me about all this is they show the celebrating Black History Month little splash image, and they put President Superman, the Black Superman, in the front front and center, as well as some of the other newer characters. And missing on that page are a lot of the legacy characters. Now, granted, Jon Stewart shows up there, and there's some, but like, I don't know, DC's been around for 60 years, right? I mean, DC's been around for forever, for decades. And there's a lot of cool historical black characters. Why are the characters featured in this image all ones that have kind of been debuted in the last 10 years or so? Like, and I mean, Black Superman, President Superman's a cool enough character, but he's got like a tiny handful of appearances. I understand you've got a Nubia book out there and you want to promote it a little bit, but Nubia as well, tiny amount of appearances. Meanwhile, some of the characters that have been going for, I don't know, like since the 70s, it's like, oh, we've forgotten about them. Again, not a big deal, but it always rubs me slightly the wrong way, because when I look at stuff like that, it always feels like, hey, we need to. Did you know it's February? It's Black History Month. Oh crap! I forgot about that. It's January 23rd right now. What are we gonna do? I know. Quick, grab whatever artist is nearby, and have them do something with some. Who are the black characters we have again? Quick, go to a whiteboard. Shit, we got that. We got that Superman, the Black Superman, and then there's the Black Wonder Woman. And put her on there, and then was there a Black Flash? Yeah, I think so. Oh, who could forget about Jon Stewart? That's right, I saw that cartoon. Wait a minute, isn't there a black female Green Lantern, or maybe a couple? Is there? That's how it feels to me. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but that's always how this comes across. It's like, almost the lowest possible effort to say, look at us, we're celebrating Black History Month, as opposed to doing something long lasting and meaningful to celebrate Black History Month. Like I granted, as I'm saying this, I recognize, because Marvel's does voices, and so they put out a book and then they pat themselves on the back about their commitment to diversity, and then they promptly forget about it until next year when we're going to do it again. And maybe this is just what the world wants. Here's where I think I'm wrong. It's not the children that are wrong. It's me. I'm the one that's wrong. I'm the one who's in here going, I'd like to see some of these characters feature prominently in a comic book. I would like to see greater prominence of, black characters, Native American characters, Asian characters. I would like to see ongoing stories where I get to read long term about their adventures. That's what I want. That's what I desire in a comic book, is that. Instead, here's some variant covers, and this will get us through February. And then let's put a reminder on our calendars so Pride Month doesn't sneak up on us again, and we can start preparing for this thing in April and get those Pride variant covers. And can we reuse the Pride flag logo approach? Like, we can make sure because nothing says I support LGBTQ rights than changing the DC logo to have rainbow colors. That is absolutely the way that the world wants you to support these things. I mean, again, I'm wrong. Everybody else is happy and satisfied and excited by these superficial, nonsensical things that make everyone feel good, but don't actually do anything. That's what the world wants. You got to give them what they want. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's weird to me. I mentioned this, about 2 years ago. Like, it was, again, Black History Month. And I think it was Marvel this time did a Black History Month. Either they were doing variant covers, or I don't remember what they did. It was a nothing thing that they did. It didn't matter at all. I guess it was 3 years ago. And we got and I said, hey, what would be cooler is you do a War Machine ongoing, or at the time, like, somebody dig Monica Rambeau, Captain Marvel, out of nowhere land and give her a comic. And people looked at me like, what are you talking about? Like, what? No, what does that have to do with anything? I'm like, no, it would be cool, because then you'd have a series. You'd have a book you could point to every month that shows your commitment. And they're like, no, let's variants are cooler. Let's do variants. And the best part of a variance is next month we can do kitty variants, and the month after that we can do variants talking about how we ship comics on Wednesday, and like that's much better for the community. And like okay. At this point, even the rain is arguing with me. It's starting to come down pretty hard. Well, there you have it. Am I crazy? Keep in mind, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm not saying if you really are determined to do your variant covers, I mean, do your variant covers. I'm not saying stop. I'm like, is kind of like is this the best you can do? That's where I'm at with this. Anyway, there you have it. Let me know how much you argue in the comments below, and thanks for listening.